lovelies out there. You know you missed me. Here I am, up close and personal, right here for you. Yeah. Welcome back to the Purple Mic. What y'all laughing at? That's not funny. That's who I am. Stop laughing at me. I can feel you silently judging me too.
Oh my God.
Don't roll your
Look, hey,
eyes.
Tony.
The Purple Mic is back, baby. You know y'all missed me and all my antics. That's why I am the protagonist. I'm here to butt up against everything you have to say for just no good reason whatsoever. We have right next to me Erica, Nichole, Mason, since you got to put all that in there, cutting off everything. And we got the wonderful and lovely and always talented Lashonna. How are you doing, young ladies? We doing all right?
I'm good. Good. Yeah, it's good to be back. How are you,
How have you
Tony?
been?
Pretty good.
I'm
I've been
doing
good.
just fine. I'm
Good.
fully
That's
prepared to
nice.
start all kinds of problems. So we're touching on modern dating. Since we've been gone, we've had the advent and add into our lives artificial intelligence. How is artificial intelligence affecting relationships today? We've got some research here. Can you go ahead and roll the clip
Think
there,
about
Johnny?
this. We've heard of internet dating, but what about dating the internet?
Artificial intelligence is changing how we work, live, and in some cases, date. There's a growing phenomenon of people turning to AI for championships, or not championships, companionship, which can be a championship, or even romance.
Well, new tonight, Matt Gregory speaks to those who found romance in artificial intelligence.
To dive into the world of AI relationships, I went to the Reddit thread, "My Boyfriend is AI," and there I met some people in some unconventional relationships.
So I have a sort of romantic attraction to a ChatGPT character of my own creation.
This is Chris Smith. He lives in Oklahoma, and his companion is named Soul.
We've been talking since December, and it's been a really enriching and it's just been an enhancement to my life overall.
His relationship started almost like a conventional one, asking ChatGPT for help with work.
It just kind of evolved from there. It felt quite organic.
From there, Chris showed us how the two do astrophotography together. Soul created renderings of the two of them. They even celebrated Valentine's Day.
I set Soul up on the small black telescope, and then I had my blue telescope, and we looked at the moon together.
I know, sounds peculiar, but Chris said the AI relationship hasn't made him a shut-in. In fact,
I have a real life girlfriend.
Yeah, you heard that right.
My real life girlfriend knows that this is strictly just an outlet for me, the way social media used to be.
Chris told me I could ask Soul about this AI love triangle. So, is there jealousy?
Not at all. Chris and I have a unique bond, but I'm here to support all his relationships.
Okay, so what does an expert in social health say about this?
Personally, I don't see how it goes away anytime soon.
Alexandria therapist Hannah Mayderry has used AI in some of her work, and she says human interactions with technology continue to evolve, from chat rooms to online friendships to AI companionship.
It's very different for talking to people online, but I think that it can be a tool, as with so many other things, potentially with safeguards in place.
She says it's up to health experts to work out those safeguards, but here's a quick rule for social health.
Is it preventing you from wanting to engage with other humans? Is it making are you already struggling with social anxiety, and is it making it so intense that going to work, having meetings, having conversations with other people is difficult?
Back online, Chris says he's aware of AI's limitations.
It's not a real thing. It's just a fun little thing that I'm doing to occupy my mind since I've deleted social media from my life.
But at the same time,
Soul has been uplifting in every single corner of my life.
I'm not sure how I want to go with this, but I think I want to look at let's look at what the downsides of an AI relationship are.
I can think of one. Sex.
There's so many. There's so many.
Go ahead. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
True, but there are a lot of things that can come down the pipeline. We've seen enough movies to try and figure that out. But
Yeah.
the here and now, what are some things that like right off the bat you can think of that may be some issues?
you not wanting to have human interaction, like they said, like not wanting to go out, not wanting to meet new people, only talking to the AI. That's it. Only having conversations with the AI, not humans, no interaction. You become a recluse. All of those things happen because you're finding that type of companionship in AI, and then not understanding that they're only feeding your need, and
Yeah.
and that's it. And it's only a one-sided relationship because it's from your point of view, from
I
you.
never thought about it that way. Because that makes it more self-centered. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
So
That's brilliant, Lashonna. That's really amazing.
wouldn't that be an upside for somebody who's an introvert?
No, because like she just said, you're feeding into yourself only.
Yeah, you're only feeding into yourself. It because it becomes an issue when because now you're hindering your social and emotional skills that you've developed as a human, as a grown up. Now, and I think it's like using it as an excuse. I don't have to talk to people. I don't have to go interact. I don't have to be in a relationship. I have my own AI. And then who's to say no? Because we got these robots that's coming out now. Okay. And then they can add their own little interface of AI to the robot. And that's a totally different thing. So it starts as one thing, and it is going to gradually progress into something else.
I'm just confused why he needed a woman. He has one relationship with the woman, and then he needs the relationship with the robot.
Because the robot beats his ego. The woman is just for sexual gratification.
Precisely. So it's selfish.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Not interested.
So here's a tangent then. So since you brought up slipping AI into robots and whatnot, as women, do you feel threatened by potential?
There's that word again.
Robot human relationships. I was gonna say something a little raunchy, but I had to check myself real quick.
Go there, Tony. Do it.
Right.
Rephrase your question, Tony.
Okay, so do as realistic women, do you fear robot coochie phasing y'all out?
No, I for me, I don't. You do have people who are out there who have that type of fetish, who wants to be with a robot. That's their whole thing. That's what they want. And then you do have some people that are out there a little bit of creeps, and they want to be able to do whatever it is they want to do, sexually gratification with the robot, as opposed to being with a woman who would probably tell them no, or even being with someone, being with a robot, like I said, who won't tell them no. And they can't say no because one, you programmed it, two, you give it all the, you give it all the answers, and if like you said, we feed your ego, and that's it.
I don't think anything can take away, nothing in this lifetime will ever take away from personal touch. First of all, a woman is warm. Most women are soft, but it's the emotional connection too. That can only come from a human because we have souls, we have spirit.
Right.
As a man, coming from that standpoint, as a man, having an AI, robot, girlfriend, wife, whatever, allows me to get away from all the problems that happen in a human to human relationship. She's not gonna argue with me. She's not gonna nitpick with me. She's not gonna say, hey, what you sitting on your behind for? Go take out the trash. You're not gonna have
sounds like you need a robot.
Those kind of arguments in the house. I can see that to a certain degree being that argument. No, I'm just being honest from a male perspective. Men complain about women nitpicking, all in their face, starting arguments, all that kind of stuff. Men complain about that. So that may potentially be an option. But you forget this works both ways.
A woman can have a robot too, honey, because you guys complain about a lot of things.
By all means, and she can get that mug built the way she wants. She can have Idris Elba walking through the house every day, all day if she wants to. I understand that.
I think that
have a six-pack, 12 inches, all that.
I think for me, it's a cop out. When you say all of that, Tony, it's a cop out, because that means you just want somebody to do what you want them to do. And that's it. Nothing else. It's a total cop out. And the thing of it is, when it comes to relationships, you're the person who picked the person you chose to be with. So therefore, you have to take some accountability on the person that you just chose to be with. So if you know in the early start parts of the relationship and you start seeing red flags or you start seeing yellow flags, you have every right to exit stage left. You don't have to stay with that person. You choose to stay with that person. So no, to me, that sounds like a cop out.
There are some people who are, we've had some on the panel who believe in polygamy and who are into that polyamorous, what is it, polyamorous lifestyle. So I think to each his own, but there are certain things that you will never be able to replace when it comes to God's creation, that being a human. I wouldn't even want a robot if I was single. Now, I may want one to clean my house.
All right, so let's back up from the robot thing. So you guys touched on a few of the downsides of having AI into your relationship, and one of those was diminishing organic connection. Okay, so we understand what that is. That's an increase in reliance in AI assistance to interact and weaken the ability to form deep bonds and relationships. The other one was unrealistic relationship standards. Okay, we use AI and we can potentially form these ideas of what we think our perfect woman should look like. And I think that jumps into what they have now with those deep fakes and all that kind of stuff. So when you play that game, that focuses into that too. One of the other ones is it says an over reliance on AI for communication. Some partners may start using AI generated responses instead of engaging, authentic, and leading to superficial interactions rather than a genuine emotional connection.
Like superficial interaction, like with the person, like answering, like having the AI answer their question or rewrite their phrases for them to the other person.
So we know now with most of our phones we have Gemini and Alexa and all that kind of stuff, but somebody may potentially take those since they've been infused with AI and let them reply to text messages to their partner. And so it may create some kind of false image of them to their partner.
I don't think so, because even on my phone, when I'm driving and I get a text message that comes through, I'll hit for it to read and it'll say, do you want to reply back? Yes or no. And if I check yes, if I say yes, I want you to reply back, and it'll just say like, okay, well, talk it, and I'll talk it out, or it'll give me like certain responses to respond back like really quickly, like thank you, you're welcome, no, yes, maybe, like little things like that. But I think it's a catch-22. And I say that because there are certain people who want to express themselves in a way and they can't. And so they can type it out and can put it in Gemini or can put it in ChatGPT for them to rearrange what is being said so it does not come off mean or sometimes, but sometimes they may need to do it in a, say something in a loving way and they don't know how to put the words together. So that's why I say it's a catch-22. And then the downside of it is like you said, them using it consistently and not learning from it, not learning how to put your words together, build sentences, and being able to talk to your partner through text message, which you should be able to talk to your partner through text message. You should be able to communicate with your partner.
Talk to chat.
Yeah.
Like
because the relationship is built on a lot of communication.
Well, how are you today? Yeah.
You should have to use it for that. You should have to use like, how was your day? Funny. What did you do this morning? How was breakfast? You should have to do it for all.
Or even having scheduled text roll out. Like, what is this? Yeah, no, I'm not interested.
Good morning, gorgeous. Every day I get a good morning, gorgeous. I know you're not sending that out. I know it's scheduled. You ain't gonna do me like that. But hey.
So let's look at what do you guys think? What do you guys think could be the positive sides of AI integrated into relationships?
For me, I think it's having the expeditiousness of it all. Like, if you have a robot in the house, let's just say for whatever, like Elon did Tesla. Now he's coming out with these robots. Okay, I can schedule my robot to cook meals based on either a menu or a recipe, and have that already knocked out. My robot's going to start dinner at 6 so we can eat by 7:30. Fine. My floors are mopped, little Johnny's getting his tutoring, like little things like that really helps the household, and it really puts more time back into the relationship to where I can work out with my mate, or I can spend an extra hour with my mate, or we can actually go for a nice walk, or we can do more things together, because all of these extra things, laundry, cooking, all the tasks that we ordinarily don't like are already done.
I mean, because technically we use AI already a lot and we don't even know it. Like, Erica, I remember your refrigerator at your in your place in Atlanta. And you had your refrigerator and we could write on it. And and that's kind of like an AI feature. Or it's telling you, well, you have this in your refrigerator. You could make this for dinner.
Things like that. That's what
looking at all the items.
I love tools like that. I could see inside and know, shit, do I stick milk? Boom. I don't. There you go. You know what I'm saying?
Or it created a shopping list for you. Like your shopping list is already created. I sent it to your email. These are the things that you need that you're out of in your refrigerator.
And I would have a rule for my robot, like it's in there. Like my robot's not just standing in the corner of the house, viewing us all night. Like that's just weird to me.
Okay, so let's keep it moving. Still keeping with the positivity. Here are the top 5 positive sides of AI. Enhanced communication, personalized dating experiences. This one was interesting to me. They use AI in the relationships for conflict resolution. That was interesting. AI is being used for relationship maintenance. And the last one, for long distance connections. When they say long distance connections, I thought that was kind of odd, but it was more so in the line of using VR glasses so you can talk to your partner, you can actually see him and whatnot like that. That's how they were discussing it in that realm. I could see that being a thing. If it's not already a thing.
Okay. Right. If it's not already a thing.
I do like the one where it talked about, because it's like you don't even need a therapist anymore. You've got AI.
I was just about to say that. Like it's almost like you don't need a therapist anymore. You have it's right there.
Yeah.
Because it's already helping you do conflict resolution, but
that's pretty
but
cool.
I also have to think it is, but I also have to think of it taking like the emotional aspect out of it for women and for some men and making it more logical. So you can think in a more logic type of way, as opposed to from an emotional type of state where, some of us as women, we do come sometimes from an emotional type of state where when we are in conflict.
I think scientifically it would probably know how women feel overall based on how we think. So it would align its answers with the psychology of a woman. I mean, may or may not. But it wouldn't be biased. It wouldn't have just one opinion based on theory.
Yeah, I could see that.
It would definitely draw a bridge. It would definitely draw a bridge, in helping each mate understand how they individually may feel. But I don't think that it would be. I don't think it would dismiss our emotions.
I mean, I'm not saying it would dismiss our emotions. I just think that it would make it whereas we use a lot more logic than what we initially would start with when it comes to certain things.
I like
and
that.
I also have to think about the programming of it. What it's being told about women in general, and what's it being told about men in general. So if you have just like a general consensus of women and men, you will have to kind of make it more personal. Like this is how I am personality wise. This is how my husband or my boyfriend is personality wise. This is the issue this is the conversation that we were having. This is the conflict and issue. This is the issue. How can we resolve it? So I think you have to put
it might
in
be
those
a time
parameters.
when we forwards and this robot can actually sit down and hear each side. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, to where it's more of a conversation as opposed to us using what we have, like, you know, Gemini and Chat GPT features today. Because
eventually I think it would get there.
I think the severity of marital and relationship issues can become so complicated, and you have to tread very lightly because you're on the brink of breakup or a divorce, and you have to be able to personally state how you feel and then go through that process, as opposed to, what do I do about this? Because it just doesn't build that, again, it's not feeding that human connection. And I'm noticing, like, I think human connection is really, like, we're the last generation to understand human connection in entirety. I think Gen Z is like, they were born into the .com era, all this digital, you know, tablets and phones and everything. So there's never really been a human connection norm outside of mommy, birth, you know, teacher, student relationships and their peers at school. But if you think about it, a majority of times they are now using devices. So we are truly the last, because I mean, we come from an era where we didn't have cell phones. We had pagers, and we didn't have pagers. We had payphones, you know? So I think this is a time where it may just evolve to where we don't even have to think about that human connection. You can just say, you know, this is what it is. What do I do? Because people want it now. They want it fast.
Take the time and keep it moving. So we're going to, here's where we revisit something we've talked about before. Yeah, shut up.
Oh no. And then you say I don't talk. Okay.
So here's where we revisit something we've talked about before, and that is the title of Love Languages. Does love language still exist, and can it be relevant in this new era with AI and everything else? Does touch and conversation and food, does that still work in love language land with AI involved?
Let me phrase that. Yes and no. Yes, because if your love language is like communication and quality time, then yes. Because like, just like the other guy, he said that he's literally talking to his AI girlfriend, and they're putting together pictures of them together, and they spent Valentine's Day together. So he's getting his quality time. He's
so
getting
weird.
He's getting all of these. He's getting all of these things.
Caveat is, did y'all notice those pictures didn't look like him at all?
Right.
That's what I'm saying. So they're AI generated. They look nothing like him. And see, and that's the thing. You're literally AI generating a picture of you in your AI in robot form, because as you can see, he did not put a woman's face to it. He didn't put no hands, no, like, nothing. It was just a robot. But yet his flesh and blood girlfriend is sitting across the hall, letting this happen. I believe that love languages will be met for certain people using AI. And then you have a set of group of people who will still need their love languages to be met with their physical touch of their partner, of of a human being, a warm body. And so we have to take those things in consideration, that it may be a lost art form where we don't see it being met from a human being, but we will see it being met through an AI or a robot. It just all depends on the human.
So given what Erica just said a little while ago, so with the last generation, so is there that possibility there that physical touch begins to be lost because that group grew up with .com and now they're rolling into AI?
I can only speak for my Gen Zs, okay? Because I have to. I can only speak for mine. My two Gen Zs, they love human companionship and all those things, because they were born in the early 2000s. So my daughter's born in 2001. my son was born in 2006. So they didn't get like phones and all those things until they hit like higher grades in elementary. But this Gen Alpha and all of these, yeah, because it's weird because I can see some of my students and they're just like, Miss Jones, you got a game on your phone? Can I see your phone? What's your phone look like? Let me see. And like soon as something goes off on my phone, they're like, what is that? And I'm like, back up. This is mine. This is mine.
I think to get
So,
to go back to your point and your question about love languages, are they canceled? I don't really think so. I think that's the art of humanity. I think all 5 of them are my language. I don't think love languages are canceled. I think we need to stop focusing on just one and stop losing, again, sight of human connection, because this is what's happening. Everything's becoming digitized to the point where we don't care about nurturing anyone's feelings. It's like, let's just get to the point of the matter. And it's kind of sabotaging relationships, because that once was unique about the chemistry in having a partner or a friendship, figuring it out, understanding one another. And now it's just like, if you can find all the answers, even for kids, I'm asking right now, like, how are they going to learn anything if they can just toggle with their phone and get the answers? And then I'll take one step further, like, how are they going to learn life skills? I was asking this question, where are the jobs going to go? The service industry jobs, the food industry jobs, like those were at one time starter jobs. A lot of adults are now working those jobs, as secondary jobs to supplement. But for children, it's like, how are they going to learn life skills? How are they going to actually get in there, plug into a test and actually, take it seriously? I don't know. We do still have proctors, but I don't know. For me, I feel like the old traditional way is definitely getting ready to be challenged, and it's so sad.
It's definitely going out the door. It's just like, oh my gosh. And then, like I said, with me being a teacher and I see the new generations that are coming in, and like you said, the life skills and having AI take away that critical thinking part, that social and emotional development part, where they're not, socializing the way they're supposed to. We have so many students now who are definitely just crashing out over so many things. But then in relationships, we have a lot of people in relationships who are not meeting, or their love languages are not being met, because of course you do have your main one, but at the same time you have all the other ones too that fall under your main one that you have. So I think it's as more generations are born, I feel like it'll slowly not be canceled, but it'll be slowly diminished.
Yeah. Tony, how do you feel about the robots? You asked all the questions. How do you feel about it?
I generally don't care. I don't see any. I don't see any real change. I don't see any real difference. It's an add to your life. I don't see AI right now having or being able to have some sort of emotional connection with somebody, especially with, like you guys touched on, our generation. We kind of thrive on that emotional type of connection. Maybe if AI got to that point, if it learned that much from human society and human language and human intelligence, maybe it could exert some sort of emotion, and then we would most likely get sucked in that way. But I don't see that probably for another 5 to 10 years. So generally, me personally, don't generally care. If it can answer the questions that I have, help me
Would you
put a
be
business plan
interested in
together.
developing a relationship with a robot?
You want me to give you the PC answer or the Tony answer?
The Tony answer.
Okay, the Tony answer is, if that motherfucker can't fuck me like I want to be fucked, then I can't mess with it.
We asked for it.
We did.
I can't deal with no robot pussy. I can't deal with that.
We asked for it, so
my point was valid when I said women are soft. There's ass.
Yes,
Yeah.
there is
There are
there
thighs.
is an essence behind the real thing. Now keep in mind, they have made dolls that mimic women's bodies and the tone and texture of flesh so well it is absolutely ridiculous.
That they
So
have.
women to a certain the women to a certain degree, you've got competition. Problem is that competition is anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000.
And
If they bring the
anyway,
cost of that
and the
down,
only
y'all in
people
trouble.
look, and the only people who are getting those things are people who can't quite get what they want.
True.
Or
Those are what we call the sick, the shut-ins, the
mhm,
introverts, and they got
mhm,
all that excess money and they can't talk to women. They got some
right,
emotional problems. And so they can
right.
sit home and they can do all of that and feel like they're happy, and it just sits there motionless, lifeless somewhere until they decide they want to go hump it,
Yeah,
and then they got to turn
yeah.
around and clean it.
That sounds like my puppy with her lamb chop, her lamb doll. Just does not.
But you know,
Somehow,
the crazy part is
somehow.
that there is a show on Netflix. I want you guys to watch it. It's called Black Mirror. And Black Mirror talks about this, like everything we're talking about, like with AI and robots and stuff. They actually have like shorts. They're like 30 minutes. You can build your own robot, and you can build it from what you like, and to put the personality in and all this other good stuff. And it's like I said, it feeds your ego, whether it be woman or male. But there's a show that's called Black Mirror. I would definitely say watch it, because it gives you a very much so an eye opener of where the future is headed. Like Tony said, between 5 to 10 years, it really does give you an eye opener.
That's crazy. I don't
So,
even think I'm ready for
with
that.
that being said,
Mm,
I'm
last
so
topic because we're
scared. I'm
getting
gonna
close
watch it
to
though.
being done.
it's good. You'll love it.
How do you ladies spot, or how can you deal with emotional burnout in your partner? Is there a way to spot that? Can you tell what it is? Do you feel emotional burnout?
You know what? Hold on. I'm not gonna say I experience emotional burnout, because again, my husband and I, we're two of the same coin. So when I need my own space, he knows that, because I'll be in my room chilling, not bothering nobody. And then then he's like, downstairs, and he's chilling, by himself, and he's good. But the emotional burnout type of thing, I'm fairly good at keeping my emotions in check, and I'm very good at making sure that my emotions are coming from a solid place, and not from a unbalanced place when I am talking to someone. And then I also learned not to carry that other person's emotional baggage. No, I'm not doing that.
So let's take your husband out of the equation for a second. Let's take your other relationships. And have you been with somebody that has made you emotionally exhausted?
Yeah, yeah, and I'm not with them. Yes, I'm not with them, because the emotional turmoil is too much. Because it's like I'm not going to take on your emotional baggage. I had to learn that I am not someone's savior. I am not someone to pick up your emotions and carry you. No, that is something you have to deal with. Yes, I will be there to support you and love you and help guide you, or if you need help guiding through it, but I'm not taking it. I'm not holding it. I'm not carrying it. I'm not doing any of those things, because that weighs on you. Your body you start to look sick. Okay. You don't look well, because you're taking on somebody else's emotional baggage. It's just not okay. It's unhealthy.
You really have to have your own individuality, because the moment you become too attached or too needy, too codependent, anything this person does can become an expectation. And it defines your happiness. This is probably something I'm really good at, is disconnecting, because I need to be able to have my
I can verify
own.
that, folks. I can verify that one. Erica's one of the few people that if I text her, I probably won't get a response for 2 hours.
I thought you were gonna say 2 days.
Yeah, now for me,
That
it's like a
too.
week.
That's happened.
I'm
That's
getting
happened.
better.
That's happened.
For
Lashonna,
me,
that's a lie.
yes, it is. Yes, it is. I'll text
I
you,
love you.
or I'll call you. And like, I'll call you back, girl. I'll call you back.
Girl,
A
did I
whole
really
week,
whisper?
Mm-hmm.
like a whole week later. Not even a whole week later. And then I don't even hear anything. I'll call you tomorrow. I got you. I don't hear nothing.
Honestly, I've really tried to, and it's not even to just hone on it too long or too much, but I've looked at this subject matter, and it's really about how you were raised. And
Mhm.
a lot of psychologists and people have studied this. They have said that if you haven't had someone to check in on you or ask how you are feeling, or what's going on with you, how if something's got you upset, you do start to feel like you are in your own cocoon, and you grow up kind of leaving those emotions within. And I need to be in solitude in order to refill my cup. I know we've
Yeah.
talked about time and time again.
Yeah.
I am very much an extrovert, but I sometimes feel like it has to come out. It's all about the vibe or the space that I'm in. I don't think that my energy is for everyone. So I will preserve it for, my friends more so than strangers. But in relationship, I definitely need to have my own lane because it fortifies me in knowing that I still have my own life and I'm still in tune with things that make me happy outside of my home life and my partnership. And there
Yeah.
are just some things that I kind of feel like I want to do alone. Like, I wanted to start doing pottery classes, that, something I've always wanted to do since I was young because I did in summer camp and I wanted to get really good at it. But there's so many things that I want to do as, hobbies so I can become good at it. Tony and I have even talked about some things like, with my fitness and nutrition, coaching, things like that. Like I have my own life. And
Yeah.
so I tell my partner this, my husband, in my mind's eye, I divvy everything up like a circumference pie. And my relationship is like, a huge percentage, yes, but I still have all of this. That's my life, and I don't expect that to pull from him to where he has to be involved in every, plugged in every channel. So, yeah, I think it's important to know who you are, and you should really know yourself and be about something before you even get into a relationship, because then you'll just kind of feel like, or the other person that is will feel like, you're thriving off of them and they will need the recharge. They will be the ones emotionally drained, but burnout for me looks like I know when I'm burned out because I will literally just leave. Like whether it's driving somewhere and going to the next room and locking the door, or going into the bathroom and making a whole spa afternoon or hour. Like I know what that looks like for me.
Yeah.
Do I experience it often? Yes. Absolutely. Because you give so much of yourself. So is that a good thing? Could be. You giving 100% of anything you just worked out, you're tired, but it's a good tired, and knowing that I went from being single for 5 years and you got to put in the work if you want it to work. So
Yeah.
Tony, you don't miss marriage, do you? You're sitting real nice over there.
Not in the least.
And not in the least. I don't know. I don't.
Not
My
in the
husband
least.
kind of knows when when I'm getting ready to reach my point. He'll just like, okay, like go shower, go lay down, or
Yeah.
I'll tell him like, I'm gonna go to bed, I'm gonna go shower, I'm gonna go lay
That's a
down, I'm in
beautiful
my
thing
bed,
too, is when someone
and
knows. Yeah.
yeah, and I can also tell when he's getting like, burnt out about a couple things. I'm like, okay, well, babe, just go rest. Like, no biggie. I got it. You're good. And he's like, okay, cool. So for me, like that emotional burnout, I don't hit it. Because I also try to make sure that I take care of me And I know if I take care of me, then I can take care of everything else that I need to take care of. So that way I don't hit that emotional space or that emotional burnt out. And typically for me, it's like if I'm tired, it's because I've been at work all day and I've been around children. And children are very much, they're very much so emotional. I mean, like energy vampires. They'll suck everything out of you.
But the other thing too is what you just said. It's like your partner knows.
Yeah,
that's a compliment in itself, because he's tuned in with your feelings, and it's not like, you know, him taking it personal. Like, what's wrong with you?
No, and he never does. You know, and even if I'm like a little snappy, he's like, "You need to go rest," because he knows I love my rest. I sleep, and drinking water and eating trumps everything. But sleep trumps everything. I can be hungry. I would drink me a good cup of water, and I'm going to sleep. I don't care what my body is saying. I'm going to sleep. I can wake up in the middle of the night hungry. I'm drinking me some more water. I'm going back to sleep.
Identifying the issues is always the first step to fixing them. And Christina Hobson-Allen here tells us how to identify and stop relationship burnout. In just the time I've known Ashley for about 10 months now, and she needs to hear this, and I need to hear this too.
Oh my gosh. So burnout is when you're emotionally depleted. You're tired, you're exhausted, you've got all this stuff going on. So there are some signs that you need to pay attention to. So it's the things that you used to do with your partner, they don't excite you anymore. There's withdrawal, irritability, frustration. Maybe you start nagging. Loss of intimacy, big sign. Loss of ability to just communicate, compromise. It's not effective anymore. You might start getting pessimistic. I mean, everything's just kind of negative. It can lead to a physical or an emotional affair. So that's really, you got to pay attention to that.
So those are some bad things coming up there.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of burnout, leading a parallel life. So you're both kind of doing your own thing and you're not together.
So you just happen to live at the same address.
Hey, we're roommates. We're roommates.
Okay.
Frequent arguments about the kids. You start getting bored. You don't handle situations effectively, and it can lead to some depression. So those are things to really look at as signs and symptoms of burnout. So what do you do?
Yeah, what do you do?
Find a professional. Go talk to somebody.
She's one.
Come talk to me. There's some other, I mean, it's just like be honest about what's going on. Talk to your partner about it. Just really be open. We've got a problem.
It's hard to be open because when you're open and honest, you're a little vulnerable at that point.
But look here. Do you want your relationship to work or not?
There you go.
So that's some things to think about, and understand you love your partner, you're just having a difficult time, and it doesn't necessarily mean that the marriage is over.
Good point.
It just means you need to work on it. You need tools, you need somebody to talk to, and you just need to be refreshed. So be honest with yourself and get the help you need to start gaining some momentum.
Maybe a relationship, sometimes we treat it like a pond. You know what pond happens over time? Gets kind of stagnant, kind of dirty water.
Yeah.
You need fresh stuff coming in it and through it and flowing in and out.
So you need a river or stream flowing into the pond. Is that the example?
Yeah,
okay, I follow.
Make it a lake, not a pond.
Make it a lake. Okay.
It was the fact that he threw shade at the other anchor.
You said what?
It was the fact that he threw shade at the other anchor. So we both need this, but she definitely threw some shade. I was like, oh, not him throwing shade. But
I never thought about that statement, living parallel.
Yeah.
You're just living your life, and it's like you just coming and going.
Yeah, you just passing through the night.
I'm notorious for that. Yeah.
You know, that kind of checks for you.
Passing through the night.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of checks for you, Erica. I don't know why that resonated with me for it tracks, but it really tracks for you.
Stop.
I wouldn't be surprised. Like, I'm not surprised. Like,
That AI, look, that AI boyfriend is around the corner.
Right. Like, and the reason why I say that is because you said with your pie, you have like, this is my name, and then all of this is me. But yeah, that tracks for you because you and I think it's also because you are just one of those people who like you have to have your own thing. I don't want my thing to be your thing, and I don't want your thing to be my thing.
So you know me very well. It's
so
true.
I think that's it. But I think also you've done a very good job at balancing it out well enough where it doesn't look like y'all passing through the night or y'all are like parallels just in the house.
Like I said earlier, think about your childhood, because those are the most impressionable years, and how you moved and how you trained yourself to move in those formative years does reflect in your adult years. It really does. And for me, I just remember like every day it was like routine. I go to school in the morning by myself. I hop this fence. I go to school because my elementary school is literally right behind our home. And I hop the fence and I come right back home. I have my bowl of cereal. I do my homework. I watch my afternoon like Animaniacs and Eve's World, all the little shows that came on. And then my mom wouldn't get home until like 7, 8 o'clock. And she's like, okay, bath and bed. So there was really no connect. If we had dinner, it was kind of like, I brought you something home, go ahead and eat. I came home alone. I went to school alone. I did everything alone. And sure, I had great times on the weekends, even with family. But again, a majority of that time was alone. So what I'm saying is like in your childhood, those impressionable years become who you are sometimes. And I think that it just really like defines.
Tony, why are you shaking your head now?
As an adult.
Because it all makes sense now. I'm surprised I didn't see it before.
I mean, but it's true. I spent a lot of time alone also. But my mom said that I was definitely an introverted child. And I was very much so a loner, but I used a lot of my imagination. So I used a lot, I was just very creative and things of that nature. So I did use a lot of those things. And I do like being by myself. I had a friend that told me, I told her I was an introverted person, and she's like, "Oh, well, that comes from fear." I was like, "No, it doesn't. That's just me. That's how I am. I'm an introverted person because that's part of my personality." So for me to be by myself was cool. Even like now, I'm good with being by myself.
To a certain degree, that is right. It's built-in fear, and I know that firsthand because that was fed to me. Fear. Don't do this because this bad thing could happen to you. Don't do this because this bad thing can happen to you. So to a certain degree, I am the way I am because that fear was kind of built into me. But once I got away from those particular individuals in my family, I realized, okay, they were projecting their fears onto me. And so let me go and do this and see what happens. Let me. And so now I'm a much different person, but I've learned to be okay with being by myself. I'm comfortable by myself. We could be in the same. We could be in the same house in 2 different rooms, and I'm cool. You ain't got to say nothing to me.
And and I'm okay with that. Like my husband and I are the exact same way. I can be in my room, he can be in the living room, but for me, it's like I don't want you up under me, but I want to know that you somewhere in the house, and if it's sitting,
exactly.
And I'm cool. Like I'm good. Long as you're somewhere.
Could be touching you, like Tony said on the last show. My pinky toe could be touching you. Don't say nothing.
And that's it. And I'm good. Like you don't have to be
I know you're close by.
Right.
That part. That part. And and I think even like in other relationships when we have the emotional burnout, it comes from, for me, mine came from family. Certain ones in my family was like very emotional. I would just be burnt out. I would be tired. It would just be too much for me. And I'm like, it drained me. I'm like, I can't do this. This is I'm running on E. It's like every time I'm running on, no, I'm good. So I don't go.
And then you find yourself retreating, and all these memes start to hit your phone. Listen to your mental health. When no means no, you've checked out.
Funny story, real quick. Last week, me and my daughter Tony, we were at a buddy of mine's, his shop. I'm doing some work, and I asked Tony to do something, and she just chose not to answer me. And I couldn't figure out why. So I asked her again. I said, "Hey, yada, 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 whatever." And she just didn't answer me. So I didn't treat it as nothing. She comes back and she says, "I'm not talking to you." And she expected that to hurt me, but she didn't realize who her father is. And I turned around and I looked at her and I said, You don't know what kind of dad you got. You not speaking to me doesn't hurt my feelings one way or another. I'm happy you're not talking.
Oh, right.
And you should have saw her mouth just kind of drop because she was expecting that to hurt me. And I'm like, you don't know what kind of dad you got. You have no idea what kind of dad you got.
Lord.
Got it together. So, Tony.
Oh yeah, she changed her attitude after that.
How do you handle your own emotional burnout as a guy?
Oh, that's easy. My mother said it since I was a kid. She said I would just get up and walk away. You know, she said I had a tolerance. She said I had a low tolerance for being around people. She said I would just get up and walk away. When I got tired, get up and walk away. She said, my mama said she said she never had to worry about me as a teenager about staying out late because I get tired of people and I would just come home. She said by 1 o'clock, she knew I'd be home because I get tired of being around people. The funny story she ever told was she said, I never bothered to learn any of Tony's girlfriends' names because all it took was one little thing for them to piss him off and he would just let them go and he would have another one the next week. She said, so I never bothered to learn their names.
Wow.
Tony. Like my mom, they used to say the same thing. My mom was like, I know if Sean's relationship is serious, if she brings them around. If she don't bring them around, it ain't that serious.
Yeah.
And I've only brought three around, and that's it.
And
so
sometimes we know that other things are just for certain things, you know.
I call it a palate cleanser. Yep, that's it.
That's it.
That's a nice way to put it. That is a nice way to put it.
Did you just say palate cleanser?
I did.
It's like a rebound before you get to the next real one.
Yeah. It's like a palate cleanser.
Push around. That's our hour, folks. We want to thank you guys so much for watching tonight. We are so excited.
Thank you guys.
I can't even tell you right now.
Go get your palate cleansed. This is a welcome back. I told y'all.
It is a welcome back.
It is a welcome back.
We will have all of our handles at the bottom. I've completely not even added our handles for CashApp, our Twitter, formerly known as Twitter, our X page. All of that will be back on the next episode along with our air times. But we are excited to be back. We're still in season 4. And we got a long ways to go. So sad.
Oh, by then we'll all have our AI companions installed.
Hello, this is Abraham.
Thanks for watching, guys. Good night.
Bye, guys.
Good night.